thing that I know for sure is that if you keep going, no matter how ugly it gets out there in that dream journey, if you keep going, some way, somehow, you will not only land on your feet, but you will get to places that you never even imagined. Okay, things will unfold in miraculous ways that your mind couldn't conjure up. So we kicking it off with the story of how I got robbed and stood up, left hanging by Tyler Perry on the same day. So I was living in Atlanta and I was super, super excited because I took a leap of faith. I had never even been to Atlanta before, but I had moved to Atlanta because I wanted to be in a Tyler Perry movie, right? So fast forward to about maybe 9 months of living there. I wasn't doing that great financially. I wasn't doing that great networking and making anything happen dream-wise, but I was trying. So on this particular morning, I was getting ready to have what I thought was going to be one of the greatest days of my life. I got the email that I had been selected to be a background extra at Tyler Perry Studios for a Tyler Perry production, right? So I was extremely excited and I thought, you know what, this is my big break. This is, what I've been waiting for. I just know that some way, somehow I'm gonna get there and Tyler Perry's gonna look at me. He's gonna say, you know what, we gotta create a character for her. Like, let me go write something really quick and just give it to her because I know she can do it on the spot, or one of the other actresses wasn't able to make it that night. So he would be like, you know what, can you fill in for her? Like, I just knew something miraculous was gonna happen. So I got up and I was going through a little bit of a tough time, like I said, financially, but I did have a little bit of money to go spend. Keep that in mind. I'm leaving my place. I get in my car. I drive to the mall and I get out ready to go in and buy my outfit. I was going to get the wig. I was going to do all this whole new makeover thing. And I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure that I secure my bags and make sure that my door is locked before I go in here. That's when I look in the back of my car and I'm missing all my bags. What bags, you asking? Well, let's rewind a little bit. Before I got that Tyler Perry email and before the day arrived that I was to go to Tyler Perry Studios, I came home one day after our afternoon out, and as I made it to my door, I saw a big pink note. And in big bold letters, it said Eviction Notice. So I gave it a deep sigh, walked up to the door and pulled it down as I had done 3 other times previous living in this apartment complex. Like I said, I was going through a tough time financially, but this time it was a little different because I did not see one way out of this one. I did not have all of the money. I had some of the money, but they didn't want some of the money. They wanted all the money. And because I knew I didn't have it, I accepted my fate. You know what? I'm just going to get evicted. Well, that's when I got the email that I was going to be in the Tyler Perry production. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the reason why I'm going to get evicted, because I'm going to move into like Tyler Perry Studios. Like, he's going to have like a place for me and I'm going to get the royal carpet treatment. Like, it's going to be sewed up, And so I thought this was what it was supposed to be. Like, you're going to suffer a little bit and then you're going to get this miracle, this breakthrough, right? So as I am preparing for eviction, I decide, you know what? It would probably be best for me to take all of the stuff that I want and put it in my car. So I packed up all my clothes, all my shoes. I packed up equipment. I had some lights and I had a camera and I had 2 computers. I had stuff that I had brought down to help me make my dreams come true. So I packed everything that I would not want to be thrown on the curb. I packed it up into my car. So the days go by. My stuff is secure in the car. They'll be coming any day now to throw me on the street, and I literally had nowhere to go. But I figured, listen, my big breakthrough, my moment is about to happen, so I don't even care. So I'm waking up the day of the production. I go get in my car, and I get to the mall. And now we pick back up where we left off. I get out the car, and I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure my bags are straight. Let me make sure I lock the door. And that's when I realized, oh, my God, the keyhole where the key go in to get in, it was busted. Somebody had busted it. Somebody had specifically chose that, used the tool, and popped it. And I'm like, oh, my God. And that's when I realized All my stuff was missing. Now, 5 minutes ago when I was getting up, going to get dressed for Tyler Perry and driving to the mall, I didn't even notice. Like, I didn't notice my stuff not swishing around in the background, going back and forth every time I turn. I didn't notice. But I notice now. And my heart started to race. My heart started to jump out of my chest. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. Not my. And I turned around. And as soon as I was about to say, not my equipment, my computers was gone. My camera was gone. My lights was gone. All my shoes was gone. All of my clothes, I had it in luggages. All my luggage is gone. And I just sat there. I didn't cry. I didn't make a sound. I didn't scream. I just sank down into the seat. And I just felt that in my soul. You ever felt your soul slip out your body and your body couldn't even react because there was no soul in it to make it move? Yeah, I like low-key died on the spot. But I didn't die. You ever died without dying? That's what it felt like. And I couldn't make a sound. I couldn't even move. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, we getting ready to get evicted. We lost everything that we wanted that we did not want to get thrown on the curb. It'd have been better to just take my chances getting it thrown on the curb. But, and I tried to find some hope. I'm like, but you got this Tyler Perry thing tonight. And I think what life is trying to tell you is that you have to trade in everything you own to get this big, beautiful miracle. It's Tyler Perry. Don't worry, the check gonna be big enough to cover all of this. So just go inside, spend this little money, keep getting your makeover, and try to shake it off, right? So I get out of the car, and I'm thinking about the money that I had. Now, remember, I told you I had a little money, and that money was the money that I was going to pay towards rent. But because I didn't have enough of that money, they didn't want to accept it. Well, that was the only money I had. So that's the money that I was to use to get to this Tyler Perry thing. But I believed with my whole heart, body, mind, and soul that this was my big break. So if I had to spend every last dime, if I had to sleep in my car or sleep on the street, I didn't care. I wanted it that bad that even in the midst of me being in a terrible storm, somebody stole all my stuff, but I'm still keeping my hope because I say it's Tyler Perry. So just hold on. So I go in the mall. I'm trying, not to cry. I got to get all new stuff. I'm talking about I got to get all new underwear. I got to buy a few shirts and tops. And I'm mortified, but at the same time, I'm trying to stay cool. So I get a wig. I get all these nice, cute clothes. So I go back to the car. And at this point, I can't hold it no more. I just start crying. Called the police. The police come, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to make too much of it because I gotta get to Tyler Perry Studios. The time is ticking by. The police officer, he questioning. He got 1,000,005 questions. I gotta give him a list of everything that was stolen out of the car. So he's doing his job. I'm sitting there trying not to fall apart. Finally, he makes the report, and I get to leave. Now I get home and I only got about an hour now to get ready because this whole ordeal has taken up most of my day. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to get cute. I got to be able to stand out. I got to look good. So I get myself together. I put my new wig on. Boy, I felt like $1,000,000. I ain't gonna even hold you. And again, I'm holding on to the fact that this is Tyler Perry. This is Tyler Perry Studios. Girl, don't even worry about that. That's little. That's chump change. That's pennies. This is nothing. You get evicted, so what? Like, girl, bye. Oh, you lost all your stuff. Oh, boo-hoo. Girl, you finna go get picked up by Tyler Perry. So I shook it off by this point. Now I'm ready. Now my mind is right? So I hit the road. And I pull up to Tyler Perry Studios. And I'm just gleaming and beaming. I forgot I got robbed of everything I own. So I pull up, I get out, I go there. You got to check in. It's all important. You feel like a little VIP. You got to show your ID. And they take your name. Oh, okay, yeah. And you're on the list. They already expected you. Okay, so I felt all good and okay, So make my way into this small auditorium, and there's lots of other people there, lots of other actors, and everybody's just laughing and talking and having a good time. And then they come and they bring out the treats and the little hors d'oeuvres, and they sit them out on the table, and we all stand in line and grab our hors d'oeuvres. And then they say, okay, first, some of y'all going to makeup. Then some of y'all going to wardrobe. Some of y'all finna go to hair, okay? So I get up there to hair. They like, oh, well, we don't really need to do nothing. Remember, I had just bought a new wig. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I ain't really got to do too much to make because I'm already beaming. So then I go to makeup. I had already done my makeup. And then we get to wardrobe. I didn't like the clothes they were trying to put me in. So they let me wear the new clothes that I had just bought. So I'm like, I knew it from my head to my toes. I was ready for my moment. So I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm ready. So I go out there and I sit down and I'm talking to people and I'm looking at the time. Time is going by. And then they call a couple of people and those people get up and they get on the bus and they go off to set. And I'm like, oh, any second now they're going to call me and I'm finna go and I'm finna get to Tyler Perry. Oh my God, he's going to see me. I'm going to see him. I'm going to be in the same room. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So I'm just like really amped up. I'm still talking to people, meeting people, mixing and mingling. And the time is still going by and they didn't come to get nobody else yet. And then another hour goes by and then another hour goes by and then another hour goes by. And next thing you know, it's the middle of the night. But then suddenly, in the middle of the night, here comes this producer. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. And I turn around and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Okay, so I'm trying to, you know, get myself together so I can get up and get a good spot on the bus so I can get a good spot on set. He's like, everybody listen up. Tyler Perry is tired. He has decided to call it a night. And all of you guys are getting sent home. But you're still going to get paid for being here. And everybody's like, yay. And they all start clapping and they're clapping. They're high five. Woohoo. We didn't have to do any work. And everybody's all excited. And all of a sudden for me, it's just like everything just started moving in slow motion. And they jumping up, slapping five. We get money for nothing. They all moving in slow motion. Everybody's voice turned deep. And they like, yeah, we're going home. And I'm just sitting there in la la land like, what is happening? What is going on? And everything is wobbling. Like my whole reality starts to warp in and out, in and out. And I'm trying to figure out, am I alive or am I dying again? Like what's going on? That same feeling I had earlier that day when I got robbed, I had the same feeling again, except this time it was double. Because now I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God. And my body started to go into panic mode. Like, so I'm getting evicted. I don't have nowhere to go. The little money that I did have, I spent all that to cause my wig and my outfit. And I'm calculating the money and I'm just looking at it dwindle like, oh my God. And I'm shaking and people just still celebrating. Woohoo! And the producer, he's like, all right, everybody, form a line over here so you can fill out, you know, your paper so you can get paid or whatever. So everybody's jumping up, going to get in the line. And I'm still just sitting there. The line getting longer and longer. It's all these people getting ready to stand in line. They gotta, you know, you're going to have to wait. And I didn't care. I'm just sitting there like, I can't leave. I'm not leaving. Like, what you mean? Get my check. No, forget the check. I don't want that little check. That's going to be $58 after they take out the taxes. I don't want that check. That's not the check. That's not the check. Because when I invested in this wig and his outfit, this is not the check. So I'm sitting there like, no. Because I'm getting evicted. I don't have nowhere to go because he was supposed to give me. And I'm sitting there trying to calculate and figure it out. And I, once again, like that morning, where I was trying to hold it together. Like, don't you sit here and start that crying. I had just got robbed of everything I owned. And I said, don't you sit here and start that crying. I'm at Tyler Perry Studios that night telling myself the same thing. Don't you sit here and start crying in front of all these people. Don't you sit here and start the crying. But I can't stop thinking about, no, this is my moment. My moment where I'm supposed to blow up. And so I get up, I get in line, and, you know, I'm like one of the last people, literally. And they hand me the paper, and it's $64. Like I said, you don't really get paid much. It's $64, and then after taxes, it's like $58 or $56 or something like that. So I leave, I get in the car, And as I'm in the car, I'm just debating like where I'm going, because I know I ain't going home. I can't go home. I can't go home to an empty place. I didn't have no furniture. No furniture. I had a twin air mattress on the floor. And I'm like, I can't go home because I have nothing, and there's nothing in the car. And I literally have nothing except for this brand new wig and this little outfit that I bought. And so I start driving because I don't think you quite understand how I feel in that moment. Like, I'm in a whole new city that I never had been to before until I moved there. I'm by myself. I came here to follow my dreams. I had all these visions that I was going to make it. I was going to be the next Nicki Minaj, and I was going to be as big as Tyler Perry, and da-da-da. And I had all these different high hopes and dreams. And for me to get here and continuously take L after L after L after L, that's devastating. Especially when you know it's a whole line of people back where you come from waiting for you to come back with your tail between your legs, with that whole little line, I told you so. Even if they don't say it to you, they'll be whispering it to each other. And it was so hard, and I was happy that nobody knew what I was going through, but I was also very sad because I was all alone. So I figured the best thing for me to do is to just drive around, sit in a parking lot for a little while, and do not go home. So I drive around till about, 4 or 5 in the morning, and I look in the back seat, and I'm so used to my car being so packed that I can't even see out of the rear view mirror. And I just remember turning around looking like, dang, I ain't got nothing. And I kept thinking, and the whole Tyler Perry thing didn't work out. Like, I ain't got nothing. Like, I ain't got nothing. And I was so down on myself. I just be like, I ain't nothing. I ain't nothing. Like, why would you think? And then it all started to like rationalize. I'm like, why would you think that was going to happen? Like, what did you think? You really thought Tyler Perry was going to like do all that for you? Just for what? Just for what? And then I start getting on myself. Like, what? And so then I'm just like, man, so I get up, I go into the apartment, and I'm just lost. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I lost my camera, so I can't even shoot my own movies if I wanted to. I lost my computers. I lost everything. I lost my underwear. I was really lost at this point, and I didn't know what I was going to do. One thing that I'm really grateful for is that on my dream journey, okay, you're going to make a lot of mistakes regardless. It's one thing when you make a bunch of mistakes in front of people as opposed to making mistakes privately, failing privately. These moments, I would have died if they were broadcasted all throughout the internet. Like, oh, look at her, she's sleeping in her car. Oh, look at her, she got an eviction notice. Like, if somebody would have took out a camera and ran up to my door and took a picture of the eviction notice on it, that would have been devastating. If all of the people back at home who, when I left, they said, that's not gonna work, you can't do that, I wouldn't do that if I was you, that's stupid. For all the people that ever talked about me and laughed, if they were to see the type of failures that I went through, boy, they have a field day. So one thing I'm very grateful for is the fact that I got to fail a lot in private. I got to make a lot of stupid decisions and have my fantasies and my visions of what I thought was going to happen. I'm glad I got to do that privately. So if there was one piece of advice that I would give just for that season of my life, some of y'all need to learn how to fail in private. You need to go try stuff and do stuff and make your mistakes, in a place where it's kind of safe. So it's like, yeah, I know I'm out here in these streets, and I'm evicted and I ain't got no money and I got all these dreams and hopes. But at least I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to learn something from this. I oftentimes think about like the prodigal son and how like he went out there and he squandered his fortune and stuff. But at the same time, I think about the type of wisdom that he might have gained. The type of learning and understanding, like when you're at rock bottom, sometimes that's where you learn your greatest lessons. So I don't never look at no prodigal sons out there like, oh, something wrong with them. Ooh, look at them. Look at that. Had to come back home. Shame on them. No, I look at it like you tried, and I bet you gained some wisdom that a lot of people around you do not have. So even in your failure, you're still accomplishing something. If I could go back and tell myself anything, because myself 10 years ago would look at me and say, what's the answers? What am I supposed to do right now to get out of this situation? And what I would tell myself is learn the lesson. I wouldn't say, oh, okay, get up right now, go over there, get this money, get that, do that. I wouldn't say that because I would rather have the past failures for the present wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't tell my past self to do anything different. I would say, fail, baby, fail. But make sure we keep the lessons and the wisdom that we gain from those failures. Now, like I told you guys, this story, it keeps unfolding. It keeps unfolding. When you hold the vision, things will continue to unfold until you get to where it is that you're trying to go. It's a beautiful process. Sometimes it's an ugly process. It's not a process that you want to go through, but it is necessary to get you from one stage of life to the next stage of life.